Okay guys, I am back for an update. I don't think you guys are near as excited as I am, but I'm excited, so I'm just gonna share. And you can just take it or leave it. So this week has been a good week, and a bad week. It's been a week, let's say. So this is the first full week I've been at home. We did do a day trip up to the Mayo Clinic, and you know, it was an easy drive up. We were a little running late, but we made it in time for the appointment. My husband was a freaking rock star and watched the kids in the car the whole time while I was in appointments, and they were like separated by some hours between each one, so he actually had a lot of entertaining to do. And so props to him, mad skill. The drive back, we totally ran into like tornadoes and flooding, and it was epic. And so I was like, okay, I'm ready to be home. And so the good news is the appointments that I had up there were all with like the urologist, and the goal of those appointments were to determine the extent of the paralysis in the pelvic region and to remove the catheter. That was the hope. And to do a uroflow analysis to determine the ability of the bladder to void on its own, essentially. And so we got all those appointments done. There was several of them, and we got it squished into a full, wow, look at that, my legs all freaking out and twitching. I don't think many of you guys have seen this, but like all the muscles, whatever. That's a side note. The paralyzed leg likes to have a dance party of its own. I was evil. I told my daughter, she's like, what's going on? I was like, it's got a dance party. It's got a mind of its own. I just gave it a brain. I put it right in the kneecap. And she was like, oh. She totally told her neighbors that I put a brain in my knee. Whatever. It was funny, okay? You had to be there. Anyhow, so the appointments went pretty smooth. The cool news, I don't know if it's cool news or not. It's actually not good news, but she was doing the pelvic exam, and she was like doing a couple tests where like I was supposed to like cough, and she's supposed to be able to like feel me coughing, pushing down that pelvic floor, and there was just nothing. And so she's like, I'm not actually sure this is functional. And so yeah, she went ahead and wrote down specifically in her notes that she didn't think it was, and that that there is some form of true paralysis going on, and there's just something else at play here. So she was not cool with the idea or that the notion that I've had bladder retention previously, historically, after like a surgery or medication or anything like that. She noted in my file that I've had bladder retention issues historically. And so she was like, yeah, you have the bladder of like an 81-year-old, not a 31-year-old. And I'm like, well, sorry. And so she was very cool with about like looking into it further and kind of investigating it more. She does not think it's a-okay even before this. So that was kind of a neat self-realization. So, yeah. We're going to do self-caths, and either between myself or getting help, I have to get them consistently and just make sure that I don't go over any one 16-hour stretch of time. And that's like the max, obviously, when it does. So we're working on time voiding. We're potty training as an adult, because why not have fun with that? So doing some time voiding, some potty training exercises, self-cathing, and in between there. The goal is to reduce the number of times I need to use the catheter, and then kind of continue to encourage the natural voiding simultaneously. So hopefully we can swing it back towards just doing our normal stuff, right? So that's the goal. We are going to, because she did note the historical occurrence of bladder retention, we are going to go ahead and do some follow-up imaging and kind of really get a good in-depth study of the bladder. Hopefully, we have to wait for this UTI to kind of resolve the whole catheter and the staph infection yuckiness. All that's got to get resolved, and then we need a couple more weeks for the meds, the bladder to kind of calm down with the current meds that I'm on. So, yeah. So in about a month, we're going to do another detailed bladder imaging study, so she can see like the sphincters going off and the strength of the muscle contraction and stuff like that. So it'll be cool. I'm intrigued, let's put it that way. Yeah, what's next? I think that's it for the medical stuff. I mean, as far as symptoms, it's been It's actually been a really bad crash of symptoms since coming home. I've had kind of a, I don't know if it's just the extra like workload of maneuvering in the wheelchair than I had been doing, but the chest tightness, the headaches, the shortness of breath, all that kind of slammed right back when I got home, kind of hit me again, and so the fatigue hit really bad the other night. I was totally sitting there watching a show on the couch with my husband, and I was just like overcome with fatigue, like just sitting there, and I'm just like, I gotta go to bed, babe, I'm sorry. So we stopped the show, and I went to bed, and I slept all that night and into the evening of the next day. So not good. I didn't get much done, let's say that. As far as like packing and getting this house ready to go, nope, it's just not happening. So I'm gonna have to actually like call on some friends and peeps to help me out there. So yeah, so the trip up to Mayo, back at the house, the kids are excited to see me, and they're actually like excited, not just like the initial like, oh, can I have snacks? So my daughter's having a little bit of a, you know, attitude adjustment. I don't know. She's clearly struggling with all of this. She and I are really close though, so I'm gonna have to give her a little bit of grace there. So spend a little more time with her. My foster son. Oh, guys. Okay, so we are active foster family. For those of you guys who don't know, we have been for several years now, and we enjoy it immensely. Sometimes it's extremely trying. And the last placement we took, we were just like, this is toasting us. We can't handle it. We're going to kind of put, you know, maybe put a pause on our license. But the only case we said we would take it was if it was adoptive, that would be the exception. And so we were waiting around, and then we got a call for an adoptive placement. We always knew it was going to be adoptive, so we went ahead and said yes after we met him. He's been with us for 2+ years. Freaking love this little boy. He is already mine in my heart, which is bad. I know. We have to cross those T's and dot those I's still, but yeah, we were supposed to adopt him, and then the whole coronavirus thing, and then it got several times the dates have been set back, so there's been a lot of like frustrations with that, but we officially have a new adoption date. The adoption date was the week I was admitted to the hospital. That clearly couldn't happen, and so we rescheduled it, and now we have it for the end of this month, right when we're moving. But that's okay. At least he'll be mine. He's already mine. He doesn't know it, but okay, what else? All good stuff. Saw the sunrise this morning. Thought it was epic. Yeah, I don't really think I have any other updates, so I'm probably just going to leave you with that. Ooh, I did learn a new trick this week. Watch this. Okay, ready? Maybe we'll go this way. Ready? Hang, wait for it, wait for it. Whoa, look at me. I'm dedicating this wheelie to my brother who's learned how to skateboard. I have worked so hard on that this week. It's landed in a couple like falling backwards, but whatever, it's all good. But I realized it's a skill set for people who are in wheelchairs, and it is something that I have to learn to do. I was trying to get up a little bit of a, there's an edge beading in our house into the bathroom. I was trying to get up it, and I pushed forward too far, and it just, I mean, man, you can't faceplant because it was backwards, but man, I crashed hard backwards, but because I was stuck in the hallway, I couldn't actually like maneuver out of the chair to pull myself back up anyway. Oh man, it was bad. I got stuck there and had to wait for my husband to come get me, and so I realized that you have to know how to pop a wheelie. It's actually a skill set so that you can actually like get above those little bumps and stuff like that. So I've been working really hard on it. I still can't do the whole like pop a wheelie and spin in a circle like dance moves, but I'm down for learning it. And so I've worked very hard on that, and I told my mother, and she was like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, be safe. I'm like, I'm good. I got wheels. So, all right, we're going to keep this video update short for you guys so it doesn't go on. And so that's all I got for you. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. I hope my long haul fighters out there are staying strong. Get out there. Be beautiful.